Light or no light? All right, well, here we are. And here's lovely Adina. So nice to see you. Thank you for coming. And let's tell everybody about you. What's your site?
My site is crazybeauty.com. That's K-R-A-S-E-Y beauty.com. And I'm very excited to be with Eve Pearl.
Thank you so much.
Right now.
I love it. Look how adorable she is without any makeup on. You don't know how hard it is for a makeup artist to come to a makeup show and not put any makeup on. So thank you. And that's why we adore her. Let's see what's going to happen. We're going to do the whole Eve Pearl method on Adina directly.
Awesome. I'm excited.
And if you see the lights going up and down, because we're live experimenting. A little spoolie.
My brows can get a little thick.
No, I love your brows. I actually just want to give them a little, because sometimes all you have to do is do a tiny little trim and a little razor and boom. So may I? I'm going to get her all camera ready. I mean, she's totally camera ready, but I'm going to put her on, we're going to put her on the Today Show one day. So you see, when you're trimming brows, you need to be very, very delicate and tiny, tiny little hairs. There. You know, this must be so hard for someone who's probably a control freak like I am, not to see what's going on to them. So you have no idea how I commend you.
It'll be a surprise.
And we're going to have to hook her up with some good Eve Pearl goodies when she's done. When you're doing this, you want to use a little scissor that has a non-sharp, pointy top. You want it to be like a baby top. And the Eve Pearl Trifold razor. And you want to just pull a little bit the eyebrows, and basically that is the extent of the pain.
Doesn't hurt at all.
Yep, nothing. I do this on my niece, who's a teenager and can't take any pain, and it's just like 2 seconds for her, and she loves it. That was it. We take the priming moisturizer and we just clean off any of the excess. And just little baby hairs. See? Little tiny little. So Adina would be our milky white light. This is the Light HD Dual Foundation. The best way to test the foundation color to make sure that it matches is actually taking the lightest color and putting it down this part of the face. And when you take your wet sponge and you blend it down, if this area matches with the neck, you know you have the right shade. And in this darkness, it matches perfectly. But I could have put a really dark color that would have matched well. But I think this matches very, very well her milky white skin. So here we go. I'm going to start with the light color again. And I'm going to be doing her eyes. Because as we know, the whole Eve Pearl method is starting with the eye makeup first.
Which is what I do all the time.
Oh, that's why we get along.
And we're on the same wavelength.
Completely in the same wavelength. Now, Adina is very, very fair. So sometimes this might be difficult for her to find a foundation that works.
Yep.
But for someone who is as fair as Adina, like maybe in the summertime now this is dark for her, who knows? Maybe in the winter she's even more fair. We actually have something that's lighter than the light, which is actually called fair. Thank you. And this is the fair combination. So this one would work also. I know you can't tell lights going on, going off, but if the light is too dark for some of you ladies out there who have that porcelain, you know, baby milky skin, try the fair. Let me see how the fair would be on you actually. Yeah, you know what? The fair's good on you too. Oh, we'll have to give you a light and a fair in case in case this is your dark. In case you're in your dark season now. Do you want a dramatic? You want a bridal? What would you like?
I like drama.
She likes drama. So we are going to give her the Diva with a little bit of the Pretty in Pink. Okay, we take the lightest color of the Pretty in Pink.
I love this a little bit too much. I'm like pimping.
I love it. So the Pretty in Pink has a little bit of a shimmer for the all-over eyeshadow. Then, of course, we take our black pearl liner and we line the eye. And when you're lining the eye, you want to make sure that you get as close to that lash line as possible. And as you get to the very end, you open your eye, open up your eye to make sure you're not going to drag that liner down. And you do that at the very, very end. Great, thank you. Close. And here's a great little trick. If you want to get the liner all the way inside the inner tips of someone else's eye, what you do is sometimes you ask them to open their eye, open your eyes a little bit. Can you look here where my hand is? And when they look in this direction, you can actually get into the inner corner. And then you ask them to look in that direction, and you can get into the inner corner right here. Thank you. See, we got the little inner.
And that liner, by the way, is amazing because I swatched it on my hand yesterday and it's still there.
It really does stay. Sometimes it does not leave my hands and it looks like I haven't washed my hands, but you have to rub. So
and it's so super fine too, like the lines that I got.
Black Pro liner. Thank you. You see, you gotta try it because no one wants to believe how great it is until they try it. We're gonna take our Diva palette. We're gonna take our, and you don't have to make decisions. We're gonna take a little black, a little blue, a little green, a little wine. Why do we have to make decisions? This way, now she's wearing a beautiful, beautiful blue, but later she might want to change into a green or a pink. Why should she be limited by her eyeshadows? So we're gonna put this right on top of the liner, and we're gonna make this line really beautiful and smoky. But I'm actually gonna give her some diva ballerina eyes. I work for American Ballet Theater, so love the ballet themes.
You and me could be sisters.
Yes, I'm telling you, totally.
Seriously.
Little smudger. You could be my daughter, actually, because I'm so old, but that's
stop
okay.
it.
But that's okay.
No.
There's my son, Joey. A Jewish mom can't help it, like the.
And this is my dad.
I know, right? Like, if there's a cute girl, you're like, oh, there's my son. You can't, it's like Tourette's. All right, we're gonna make, still, even though we're doing drama, we're still gonna make it beautiful drama. I'm creating a little eye that's going to actually gonna have a nice point. And you wanna use the fine part of your brush. So I'm mixing the green and so I'm gonna take a little bit of the blue and the green and the wine on just the top part. All right, because I want it to be a really fine, fine line. So I'm gonna take it up, and then I'm gonna create this gorgeous little rounding, like a little eye, as though you would draw it. Open your eye 1 second, and I want to make sure how it's going to be leading out. And don't worry about the patterns that come down, because that's going to get all cleaned off. Close. So we're going to take this, and we're going to just take it up. And now we're going to make it a little darker here, and we're going to start making it a little bit darker here. All right, so we're going to go back into our palette. We're going to take a little bit more of the green and add more green here and here. And I'm realizing, because she has a little green, a little blue, I'm going to put a little bit of blue now. A little bit of the blue.
We're matching to my stylish little necklace here.
There you go. Now we're going to add a little pink, because I'm sure she'll put on some pink later. She looks like a pinky girl to me. All right, so we're going to start out there. Now I'm going to take my mixer. This is my mixer blender brush with my mixer colors, which would be the warmer colors of the palette, okay? Just again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna go right on the edge of these colors, and I'm gonna go back and forth and sort of smoke all this out. So a little bit more, and just smoke this whole thing out. You see how already it's starting to become a little bit more stylized? And the same thing here. We'll put it on the edge, and then back and forth, and gently working it out. And the reason I do the eye makeup first is you see all this powder that falls down. I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to clean all that up later. But right now I'm focusing just on taking that eye out. And all we're using right now are these deeper colors. Open your eyes 1 second. Okay, great. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to do it with the liner one more time because I want it to be really defined. Because every ballerina has beautiful liner on. Now some of you might want to ask, well, why don't you just put the eyeliner on last? Because I like to put it on first so you have a base to start out with. Smooth it out and then put it on again. But if you don't do it, you're not going to have a base of those layers. And sometimes if you're going for a more subtle look, you don't have to repeat the liner. But I like to do the liner first and sometimes again last. All right? And now I'm just going to do...
about subtle.
No, who wants subtle? What's subtle? What are we saying? And I'm gonna just go and just smooth it out one last time. And I'm gonna clean off all that powder right now from Adina.
Dark color or black?
Sorry?
Are you using black? Okay, black.
Black, blue, green.
Okay.
I mix a bunch of colors together so that, see, for me, I like it when someone can't tell what colors you have going on. And I don't like to make decisions and choices on makeup. I have to do it for everything else. See, this way you have a little green, you have a little black, you have everything in there. So I'm gonna go back to the priming moisturizer and the first sponge, and I'm gonna clean all this mess up. All right, and that's why we don't put any foundation on. You see all the mess? You would have to try to work into your foundation or keep it, clean. And this is not the silicone type, it's actually like a moisturizer. So now we're gonna put some eyelashes on. We're gonna go back to our black pearl eyeliner. And here's a wonderful trick. I'm actually gonna paint the line in, because when you put on eyelashes, you have that little strip and you gotta go over it with the liner. If you actually paint it in first, you don't have to go over it again.
I never thought of that.
It's those little tricks. And usually I'll pre-do this when I'm working and I have several people to do. I'll pre-do this. Because then when it dries, you have another darker color there. Just like that. We take a tweezer. Always go from the outside of your lash. I take the tweezer and I'm removing it from the outside. Look. You take your lash. You want to bend it a little bit just to give it a little bend. And you want to measure the person's eye. So we're going to measure this on Adina's eye to see how much I got to cut off. Because you always should be cutting something off. Open for a second. Okay, great. Close. So now I know how much I have to cut off. I'm going to cut off, about so many. Let's see. That's right. And then I count. 1, 2. I see nothing. I'm a blind makeup artist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8. Like 8. It's gone. Now, every once in a while, actually on most lashes, you got to look on both sides. And sometimes there's something pointing out from the inside. Make sure you cut it off. Make sure there's nothing worse than having anything poking you in places you don't want to be poked. And in the eye is not a good place. Now, here's another great trick. You know what? You can always also trim your lash. If you think sometimes, it's a little long, it's a little too something, don't be afraid to take your lash and trim it. Don't be limited. So if you have a limited budget on eyelashes, get one that is a little bit longer and becomes more versatile for you. If you want to make them shorter, you can just cut them. All right, so we take the lash and we take the E Pearl Black Eyelash Glue. As we all know, I love this. And when this goes up, it's gray. There's a lot there. When it's wet, it's gray, and when it dries matte black. So that once again, we don't have to go over it with a liner. So we take the tweezer, hold it from the inside of the lash, and we go towards the eyes, and you can gently lean on the person's face. Don't climb on the person, just gently lean on their face and position it so it's going to go right in the center part of their eye. Glue it as close to the lash line but on the skin as possible. So you want to make sure you get it really close to the lash line but on the skin. Then you say, can you open your eyes, please? Great. So you want to make sure you haven't glued their eyes shut. Close, because every once in a while you will, but do not panic. If you do, just gently pull it apart. And if you're a makeup artist working on someone, please don't go, oh my God, or that's going to make someone feel very uncomfortable. And you see what I'm doing? This is the E Pearl method of, you want to make sure while this is drying, you're pushing it in towards the eye and you're also rolling it up. So open your eye for a second. So right now it still feels weird because it's not connected. So it's poking her in her eye, on her lid. But when we connect the two, it's going to become one. And with this method, you never have to curl your own eyelashes. So again, we're going to take off this lash now. Does anyone remember how many I cut off the one side? Thank you.
We're all paying attention.
Oh, thank you.
In the case, what did you do?
Oh, I painted it. You're gonna have to watch the
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think.
The benefits of having an audience that they can remind you.
I know, thank you. I got 1, 2, 3, I think it's close enough. Same thing, we're gonna take the glue that right now is gray because it's wet, but when it dries, it's going to be black. A very, very thin strip, okay? You don't need a big, big, thick strip. That's a problem that I see a lot of people do is they use the thickest strip they could possibly find. All right, and now we're gonna hold the outside part with the finger, the inside part with the tweezer. Make sure that you didn't get any glue on the inside part of your tweezer, because if you got glue from the other lash on the inside, when you go to pull the second lash out, you're gonna pull it out with the tweezer, not just a tweezer. So again, we're gonna position this close to the lash line, and we're gonna place it down. I think I cut off less on this side than the other side. Open for a second. But we're gonna blend it in, beautiful, close. And again, now you wanna make sure that you get it as close to the lash line as possible. So this is the only time that you have to still move anything around. And you have to bend it as soon as you possibly can so that it starts drying in an up position. Okay, open your eye for a second. So you want to make sure that you have it gluing like this. So here's the fake lash, here's the real lash. Actually, can you turn your head that way for a second? Can you see the difference? Here's the fake lash, here's the real lash. And let this dry like this. Again, it's gonna feel very odd to the person, especially if they can see themselves. They're like, oh my God, what's going on? You crazy makeup artist, get this off of me. All right, I am gonna take the All Natural Eye Palette and go 1, 2, 3. And actually what I wanna do is, not that I wanna fill them in, I actually wanna just extend them out a little bit. Because, you know, when you're a diva ballerina, you need to have your eyebrows going like Sharon Stone's. Ow.
Find the eyes.
Yes. And you want to start always by the arch. I mean, because really her shape is already there. It's gorgeous. I just want to take them out. And when you're taking eyebrows out, just take them out and not down. Just pull them out and stay on the top part. You know, you can stay on the top part. During this time, the eyelash glue would have dried. And then what you do is you're going to take your mascara. Well, usually you would use a wand, really. But I think we're done, and this is new, so I could use it right now on Adina. This is what you do. This is how you connect your mascara to your lashes, the real ones and fake ones. Take your finger, have the person look down with their eyes open, but look down. Great, I'm gonna put my finger gently on her eyelid, and I'm gonna weave the two lashes together. So we are gonna weave them together. All right, this really connects the two sets of lashes. And the closer you get to the base of your lashes, obviously the better it is because you really are connecting them. Open. But it ends up looking very, very natural. These are wonderful for brides, you know, or for ballerinas. And especially for divas. And the princesses. And the queens. You know who you are. I'm an old queen. Yeah, and this is the All Natural eyelashes. Okay, so, and you can do this again later on, one more step if you want, but it's enough right now. We're gonna take, actually, I wanna make sure that everything on the bottom has been cleared off just in case any dust fell from the lashes. So I would rather always just to do one last sweeping, you know, on the face. Just in case. Okay, all gone. So, you know what? We're going to take the Fair for you, Adina. This is the Fair HD Dual Foundation. Okay, and actually Adina is perfect for this. I'm going to take the darker color. And this is the E-Pearl method that you have to see for HD, for real life, for weddings. The darker color goes. She doesn't really have redness or discoloration, but she has a little bit around her nose and maybe a little bit in these little areas. Let's see if you just show your face a little bit. That we want to even this out, and we're going to contour her face. So I'm going to put the darker shade here, okay, and the darker shade here. where her cheeks would be. So think about it this way, wherever your blush would go is where you're gonna put the darker shade. And if you have any discoloration, or like myself, you have acne or acne breakouts, the darker colors is what's gonna get rid of that. If you have the redness, rosacea, it's not the lighter color, it's the darker color. And the darker color will go by your forehead, and the darker color will go on your chin. The lighter color will go on the lower part by your jawline. That's gonna give you cheekbones immediately. Instantaneous cheekbone effect. Can you guys see that? And a combination of the two will go around your lips and on the top of your forehead. Now, it's very important to wet your sponge. So make sure you have a wet sponge. If you don't have a wet sponge, take a little sprayer with you and wet your sponge. So with the wet sponge, you want to smooth this out. And the reason I wet the sponge, in case you don't get why I do this, is what we have applied right now, the HD Dual Foundations. Yes, they're foundations, but they work like concealers. So it can give you the full range of coverage. And the more you wet the sponge, the more sheer you want it to go on. And because Adina has like gorgeous skin, there's no need for me to cover up her skin. I just want to give her the protection from the sun, because she's getting the natural SPF and the skincare from the astaxanthin. So what she's getting now on her skin is the omega-3s. She's getting the antioxidants that are 500 times more potent than vitamin E. You know, you've got the anti-inflammatory and line diminishing agents. And just basically protection from the, nature's harsh elements. But I still want to see her skin shining through. I don't want to cover up her skin. And you see the lightest colors blending quite well with her milky white skin.
This is skin that never sees the sun.
Wow, look at this.
That's why it looks.
You see, her neck and her face match. You should never have to do this with your foundation. It's not necessary. As light as she still is going to need some sort of concealer. This is our Salmon concealer. This is the light Salmon concealer. It still looks dark for her, and she's probably a little scared, which is good. I like that when they get a little scared. I'm going to take the light concealer, and I'm going to do one eye first. So here we go. We're going to do the light concealer, and we blend it all in. And can you all see the difference from one side to the other? Can you guys see the difference? Bobbing heads, anybody? Yeah? Oh, okay, good.
I'm making sure everybody sees.
Can you see the difference? That's a nod. Okay, yay, we'll do the other eye now.
Yes.
And the thing is with concealer, it should never feel like something is waxy or cakey. There we go.
That's the worst, because the skin under your eye is so delicate already.
Yes.
You're putting a heavy concealer on.
Exactly.
Doesn't feel good.
And it doesn't hide anything, it just like accentuates certain areas. So you want to make sure that you blend it out, it's all smooth and natural. And now I'm going to take my fan brush, and I'm going to take my light trio of blushes and go like this. Very, very scientific. Okay, and now I'm going to put a little blush on her cheeks, and a little blush, all three colors, also on the forehead, also down below. And then I'm going to take only the bronzer and put it right on the bronzer and say, can you smile, please? There you go. We're going to put it right on her apples of her cheeks, because she's so cute. And right on the apples. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the pressed powder, same brush, and actually take it up a little further and blend it down, and a little further. That was a weird word. And take it down. And now I'm going to find a dry sponge. And I'm going to take a little bit with a dry sponge actually, and I'm going to work and make sure that everything is as smooth as possible under the eye. And sometimes what you have to do is you have to work it in and out, because if you have any creasing going on, you want to make sure you want to smooth that out. And it's a misconception that a good pressed powder will actually aid you or make the lines come out. If you get a good pressed powder that feels very silky and is compatible with creams, you can make it be like a cream and it'll just smooth everything, any line that you might have. The next step we want to do is we're going to put on the eyeliner. And by the way, you can put eyeliner on before you put the foundation. But when some of us are chit-chatting, we forget a step. But there's no rules with that. So I'm going to do some of the eyeliner. And I'm going to put a little bit all around. And the other eye. Now, it looks a little harsh when you first put on eyeliner. So what you want to do is you want to take a mini smudger brush and something that has a tiny bit of a little shimmer. This is the gold palette actually. I want to stay with the pink palette, pink and Diva, back to the pink palette. A little bit of the pink, a little shimmer pink, and I'm going to go right underneath the liner. And what this is going to do is it's going to make the liner be so much more subtle and give her a tiny hint of shimmer. So this is like your little eraser. Pardon?
You use gold and the pink?
Well, you know what? I started using the gold, but I wanted to stay with two palettes. So I put the gold down, then I only took the pink. Because right now for Adina, all I wanted to use was the Pretty in Pink palette and the Diva palette. Because I want to try to show that, you know, you don't need a million different colors. Like this is our Diva palette. This is what gives you the dramatic colors. This is our Pretty in Pink. So it gives you like added little pinkies and highlighters. So usually I would put the gold underneath here, but you can totally not have to limit yourself. I'm going to take the same little brush and go into the little green and the blue, and I'm going to put that underneath between the pink and the eyeliner, just to give a little hint. I like adding little accents where people can't really notice what you have going on. And you can do that any time of the day. And because I have no mirror, I like to, let me see, close your eyes for 1 second. Open. I want to get the inner corners of her eye. You see there's, right now you can tell where the lash stops. That's not something you want. When you're a real pro, you want to make sure there is no thing that a lash stops. So you want to take your black color, whether it's from the dry powder or whether it's from a black pencil, you want to take it with your brush and you want to take the tip, because I put powder on here first, you want to take the tip of your brush to get a decent amount of color. And it's a really nice brush. We call it our little mini smudger. And look in that direction. And basically I could pat it with the brush. Open. You know what? I had too much powder, I think, on that brush. The brush would work, but you know what? I'm going to try one other thing. Sharpen your pencil. Have the person look out. And put your pencil in there. Open. Much better. See, much smoother. Look towards me. Actually, that one's a good one already. But I want to get one more of the mini smudgers. You should always have two mini smudgers because the first one had a little powder on it. That's why it was hard to get the pencil. When it's clean, has no powder on it, it will pick up the creaminess of your pencil, whatever you're going to use. And just to show you, because you should know how to do this, how to do what I just did, do it with the brush. Look that way, because really with the brush it should be easier to do. Okay, you see that? Perfect. And you can also, if you have eyes that are drippy, not that you have anything like that at all, you can take the liquid liner that's waterproof, the Black Pearl, and put that on a brush. And use that for your under eyeliner. Look up for 1 second. You can always take a little bit of this and use this for your under eyeliner. You know, and smudge it very, very gently. It just gives a little more depth to your shadows. Oh, I want to show you a great little tip. Let's say you wanted to make the brow bone be a little bit lighter. Take your concealer brush, the little thin concealer brush, and go back into your foundation. Take a combination of both All right, you don't want too much of it. So, get rid of some of it. And look down for a second, close your eyes for a second. If you want to make this brow bone a little lighter, you put that up here and here. And then use the back side of it to blend it in. And that's a great way to clean up any area. Open your eyes for a second. Do you see how great that just clean? It's like a wonderful eraser and it makes it really, really precise. It's a wonderful little eraser trick.
That's great. Just a little tip. Well, a few new ones anyway.
So then you want to go over it with a powder, right? Because whenever we use anything that's a cream, we want to go over it with a powder to make sure that it sets. I just think as a ballerina, it looks much cleaner that way. You can't have a ballerina with like, crazy ends. I'm going to go one last time into the pretty pink palette. I'm going to use the pink and a little bit of a shimmery colors. And now I want to take all this out. Like a wing.
I'm paying attention.
Well, we'll have the whole process for you. Huh? And the same thing. Remember, whatever you do on one side, you want to make sure you do to the other. And I gotta tell you though, it's hard when you don't have a mirror and you can't put your head in front of the camera to see what's going on.
Right.
Open your eyes, yeah. So it still looks very natural.
It'll be a surprise.
Yes. And now we're taking our Cosmo pencil, and she's got beautiful lips. So I actually don't even want to put any color. I want to just do a little bit of the top. I want to give her those heart-shaped lips. Because every ballerina's got these, hot, hot lips. So we just do that right here, right on the top. I'm putting nothing on the bottom right now. By the way, you can use the back of the pencils that have a little brush on them. What I'm going to do is, I am going to take a brand new Honey Bunny baby doll, because Adina deserves to have her little gift of the Honey Bunny baby doll for being such a wonderful model. So we open one up for her. It's the Honey Bunny baby doll lip gloss combo. I mean, if she's, yeah. Yeah, totally. So this is our Honey Bunny baby doll for every ballerina and or bride. And we're gonna take a little bit of the pink. Yeah, they're great. And I'm gonna just put these.
Is it just lip glosses, Eve?
They're lip glosses, yes. And they all have vitamin E and aloe.
And A and C. I'm kidding.
Of
Vitamin
course,
A, C,
doesn't,
and E.
yes.
Antioxidant. Beautiful.
Everything. And it's not like the goopy kind, it's sort of just, it has a little hint of mint also, by the way. Because everyone needs a little hint of mint. Now, what I want to do is the top lip has a little gotten, I'm going to give this to you, hold on to. And now I want to just blend in the top lip a little bit. Now, as a makeup, oh, here we go. Sometimes as a makeup artist, you can't find all your tools, so if I couldn't find my lip brush, I would have just used my concealer brush. So don't panic if you can't find one brush. Use another brush for it. And what I'm doing right now is I'm blending away that liner because I don't really want to see liner or anything like that. I want to make it look like it's their own natural lips that all the gloss is swooping over. Okay, we're gonna do our last coat of mascara. All right, one more coat, because I can't, One last coat. And this is our Glamour Lash, which, by the way, everyone's getting, we've had a promotion. I don't know if it's still going on, but a giveaway purchase, you get the Glamour Lash, because everyone needs to have a Glamour Lashes. And here's a great trick for the bottom lashes. We're gonna take a mini fan brush, and we're gonna go like this with the mascara. Okay, so we're actually taking the mascara with the mini fan brush and say, look up. And this way you can get all the little baby hairs under the eye. So when you don't want to have visibility of mascara, or you don't want to go to someone's face with a big brush, you take your little mini fan brush, eyelash brush, And this is also wonderful if you're doing shoots and you have like a child that you want to get some color in their eyes and you don't want to, yeah, it's great. For men, right. If you're doing men, you want to use like a brown mascara. So I'm going to take another last look at Adina, who's so cute and gorgeous. I use the light blush. This is the light blush trio, and I use a little bit of the pressed powder. So if you want to highlight, you could just take the pressed powder, and we could highlight in these little areas.
I know.
I'm just gonna now finally give her her mirror, and what do you think? I'll let her look. What do y'all think? You like the way she looks? All right. So this is Eve Pearl with Adina. What's your last name? Or what do you want to?
Zilberman, and
Zilberman.
I'm from crazybeauty.com.
Check her out and check us out on evepearl.com. We're going to have lots of tutorials, and we work with incredible people who are all real people and give you real feedback. So thank you so
And an
much.
amazing makeup artist.
Thank you. How cute is she? Oh, and here's my son. No, I'm kidding. And this is Joey. How cute is he? Look at me. Ken, I told you, like Tourette's.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And one more for my camera.
Of course.
Got my camera?
Careful, careful, careful. And can we have one with our camera?
Yes.